Okay, hello and welcome to the Q&A session for lovely Canva crew and lovely evolution. So for those that don't know me, I specialise in branding, design and Canva. So we've got a couple of newbies that have joined the session today. So we've got Paula and Rob. So hopefully you guys have all got some questions for me, and I can hopefully answer them, demonstrate it. You can share your screen. That will probably benefit for yourself and for those watching on the replay. So I'm going to put it back into gallery view. Okay, so who wants to start? Who wants to?
Probably ladies first.
Well, I've set up a Canva account and I've sort of messed about with sort of the background picture and what I want on it. So I'm sort of very new to Canva, but I thought, well, we've got this bit of sort of downtime and quieter time, I'd sort of have a play around, see what I can have a look at and what works. So Canva's really quite new to me.
So what have you had a chance to sort of start? You said something about, so you've done your virtual background, so well done.
Yes, I did that. That was quite easy.
Oh.
Do you know, the pictures and sort of pushing out some of the offers that I've got coming up and some of the services on that type of thing that I can add on to a post on Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I haven't got it how I want it yet, but it is all very new to me. So I've just been sort of messing about how sort of things get moved across Canva, and so yeah, just sort of literally within the last couple of weeks, really.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, you know, start slow, or do it in pockets of time. Like any new skill set, it takes time to sort of pick it up, feel confident with it. So don't worry too much if, you know, initially what you do is a little bit rubbish. That's a learning process. You know, it's not, you know, unless you're a trained designer, it's not something that is, you know, learn how to do. So yeah, hopefully sort of coming along to sort of the free Q&A sessions, or, you know, use the lovely Canva crew Facebook group to post anything you're working on. If you've got any questions, there are a few new people who are both new to the group but also really new to Canva, so don't be afraid to ask sort of a stupid question, because there's no such thing, you know, like some people find picking up new things and tech stuff really easy, and other people sort of struggle and need a bit of hand holding. So, you know, don't be afraid to do that. Looking at your virtual background, I'd probably suggest making your logo block a little bit bigger. You can think, because of where you're sitting, you've got a little bit of a gap, so you could probably get away with making it slightly bigger. You know, so don't be afraid to do that, but obviously you'd have to sort of be mindful where you are sat.
That's the thing, isn't it, when you set a virtual background, you sort of been moving around the screen, and it depends as well whether you're on, because at the minute I'm on my iPad, but then if I'm on the computer I need to sit at a different angle, and then if I'm on my laptop in the other room, it has the sun behind me and that impacts on it.
Yeah.
So it's moving
these things that we have to learn how to do. So do you have any specific questions about Canva, or are you just, because you're still so new to it, you're just sort of here to just sort of hear what maybe anyone else has got questions on?
Yeah, just to hear some questions and see how other people are using it really at the moment.
Okay,
that'd be good.
Cool. Okay, well, if you can mute yourself. Rob, did you want to have a little go? I've muted you, Rob, so you'll have to unmute yourself, I think. There you go.
Is that better?
So how long have you been using Canva for, and sort of where do you feel you are, like, are you confident with it, or kind of getting more confident, or just like, I don't know what I'm doing?
So it's a mixture of each, I think, really. I'm very similar to where Paula is. I've had it a little while, and it's only the last probably 3 or 4 weeks that I've started playing around with it, so to speak. I like using the collages, especially on the photo side. So with obviously all the different things I do, it's handy to drop photos into different ones, sort of thing. And what I've been doing the last probably the last couple of weeks or so, is trying different collages and see how they work with that sort of setting, as it were.
Have you got Canva logged in on your machine at the moment?
It's not at the minute, but if you bear one, so I can bring it up if you wish.
Okay, well, if you want to log on in the background, I'm just
Yeah.
going to show something to you guys and share my screen. I've allowed screen sharing, so I just, unless, Paul, you've got any particular questions you want me to answer. If not, I was just going to show the brand kit quickly, because Paula may not be aware of that.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. Right, let's bring that up. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So I've got the Pro version, so that I've got some extra features that as the free you won't have, but it's still worth me showing you what we've got here. So in the brand kit, which is the sort of on your home page or the dashboard, you'll have this brand kit available to you even on the free, and you can still do a lot in the free version. You don't have to upgrade, but in the free version you've got the access to be able to create one, I think you can only do one palette, and you can do up to 3 colours. So this is where, for you, Paula, and yourself, Rob, if you've got brand colours. So Paula, I can see you've got kind of green and a grey, and I think a sort of blue was in your logo. So you'd certainly want to have the green and the blue added to there. So if you don't know what your brand colours are, you're going to need to know what the hex code is, and that's this kind of hashtag and a code. You need to either go back to your original designer who created that and ask for those codes, or you can just Google Canva color palette generator or something like that, and it's basically you can upload your logo or any image, but in particular your logo in this case, and it will select the colors that are in that image. And again, in the case of your logo, and it will tell you the main colours and will give you the hex code here, so you can then add that. And this is a really important, first step of when you're kind of getting to the point where you're using Canva regularly. You want to make sure that your colours are consistent and setting it up. And you can rename the palette. I mean, I put lovely brand colours because it's my business. Sorry?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good idea, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, and then if in the Pro version, you can also set the brand fonts, both what's available in Canva, and you can also upload fonts. Excuse me. And then you can also upload logos in the Pro version. But to be honest, you can upload your logos just as a general in uploads, and it's not a problem. So
I can't seem to get into Canva on here, on this particular screen. It's set up on another one, unfortunately. Just trying to think.
The other option is if you wanted to, via Facebook Messenger, just drop me your Canva login details and I can log in on your behalf if you wanted to.
Yeah, the only thing is I've written down, so bear with me 1 second. Sorry, I should have.
Okay.
In here.
Or whatever's quicker, to either send it to me and I log into it, or you log into your on the other screen that you said about.
Yeah. I'll send it across to you. That's all right. And then, well, I'll try and log in, see what it does, and then.
Okay.
Apologies.
Okay, so I'm just going to mute you, Rob. So Paula has asked about this link. So what I'll do is I'll go on to the browser and I'll show you how you can just search for it. I'll share my screen. So if you just type in like Canva color palette, I'll probably do that one. So you can upload an image. So that image could be your logo. So it would need to be in a PNG or JPEG file format. you would upload it, and it would hopefully pick up those images there, so that you'd be able to do stuff. And then you can see you've got the colours codes there, so you would just copy and paste it. So that's that. Quite straightforward. Whilst Rob is sort of sending stuff over, if you can let me know when you have done that. Paul, if you want to unmute yourself and sort of tell us a bit about sort of your experiences with Canva for the others, because you've been using it quite a while, and we've done a sort of one-to-one with it, which you found quite helpful.
No, that was really useful, because I was dabbling about and spending ages doing certain things and not knowing little tricks, which you sort of like showed me to how to do, using elements and changing the transparency of them and overlaying them, so it makes the things that I generate look a little bit more sexy than they would if they'd just been sort of like a flat, boring thing that I normally do. I've got a question for you. You know, this sort of like Ignite thing that you do with the circular profile faces on them?
Oh, yeah.
That's my phone ringing. How rude. Do you have to make the photos circular and upload them to Canva, or is there a clever way of doing them in Canva to make them circular?
I can show you that. You don't need to make the images themselves circular.
Because that's the only way I could work out how to do it when I did it.
Okay, I will share my screen again. Okay, so if I just add a new page, get rid of that in a minute. So what you need to do is, where you go to elements, you need to go to frames.
Ah, frames, okay.
Frame. So you would then, you've got the option of that one, which is got no kind of outline on it, and then they've got some blobs, and I think there was, so there's this one which has got a frame around it. So there are some quite snazzy ones. I have actually used this one, which has got the kind of more painterly, if I just put like a dark background in the back. So you could, if you're wanting to sort of have a kind of more organic feel, if it's part of your brand style, having sort of more brush strokes, that could look quite nice. I have used the sort of the more kind of pebble shaped ones as well. But yeah, it's just, so if I just get a photo, it can be any, and then if you pop it in, that's the image. So it can be any shape, but it will try, you will have to sort of have it edge to edge, as it were. So you can go bigger, and you can also move it around to sort of focus on what's important. You could also put your filter on it. So for Ignite, for example, I've done a style where I've added a grayscale, and then I've gone to adjust, and I've changed the tint, and I've just done it right to make it so it's in that two-step process. And you can also see here, that's the colour of the frame, so you could then change that to whatever you want.
I could brand it to my colours if I wanted to.
Yeah, so you could choose to have with or without. So like if you felt that you didn't want to have that, you could also be a bit snazzy, and if we get rid of frames, if you wanted to have a device behind it, but maybe not necessarily, like maybe a shadow, I've done that, or so we can put that to the back. So you're kind of popping the image out a bit, but it's not necessary. So you could have it like that, or you could have it like that and make it, a bit bigger. I mean, that's a bit retro. Or you can sort of size it so it's and make it semi-transparent, that one in the background, if you wanted to make it like a shadow and think about where it would be. So Rob, have you emailed or messaged your login details over?
I've managed to get the page up now.
Okay, so you should be able to screen share.
Should I just press screen share? Yeah.
Yep, go for it.
How's that?
Okay, so this is great to be able to sort of
Yeah.
giving people watching this a little showcase of what we do, as well as showing how as a photographer you make use of the Canva template. So you said you particularly like using it for the collages, so that makes sense. You've also got your brand colours, the yellow, and then you've got the black and white. With the one which is top right, the very yellow background, just be careful that you need to have enough contrast between the background colour and the text. And so sometimes you can have a yellow background, but the yellow is sort of such a kind of vibrant and kind of tonally quite light. You can't read that. I mean, I can just about see it says introducing Bob and Tog. So in that case, I would say make the text black or grey, or pick another colour that works with it, that fits with your brand.
Yeah, black makes sense in fairness, because that's what my logo and that is. And I think the yellow, like you say, is probably is a bit brighter than what my actual thing is. So I'll go in and get that hex code and probably use that.
Yeah. Okay. So well, there you go. It's good that you picked it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite a minefield. I didn't quite appreciate obviously all the things that you can use and that sort of stuff. So some of them are a bit very, very basic, but I'm enjoying sort of experimenting and working with different things.
And when you're getting started, trying using different templates and experimenting is fine. But once you sort of start developing a sort of look for your template, try and stick with it. It's not to say everything has to all look the same, but you want to make sure that the fonts are consistent, the colors, and try and sort of pick, okay, so this is the template for the collage of images, and this is the template you've created for like a one hero image if you're wanting to highlight a particular one photo, for example. And then you might want to create a template for testimonials or a motivational quote or something like that, where it's got the focus of the design is the text. So it's fine to use some of these other templates that are out there, but make sure that you pick something that you can, and then you adjust it to fit in with your brand's design aesthetic. So like, for example, your logo, if you scroll down a little bit, just so we can see your logo a little bit better on the sort of second row. So your design is very clean, kind of minimalist. It's sort of quite icon-like with the icon of the logo. So maybe considering on some of your posts, or if it's like a text-heavy post, an appropriate icon from the elements that could work with it.
Okay.
So that could work. And I guess you've got the whole, you've got some different styles there, because you've got the restoration where you've kind of gone a little bit oldie worldy there.
Yes.
And some other ones where maybe you're still experimenting. So think about, I think it's good that you've made a nod to the style of the photograph. So in that case, you might have a slight breakout from your general design aesthetic, but think about how you can bring your branding into anything and everything that you do when you're communicating what you do. So it may well be that the restoration one has a different look and feel, but that's quite a deliberate thing, because the target market of who the restoration is for, as well as the topic, is quite different. So you're almost creating like a sub brand or a separate brand. So you can treat it as that in terms of the look. Yeah.
But then they still need to know it's coming from me, really, don't they? So have that.
Yeah. So like, how can you bring in your logo back? So like with that, you wouldn't want to put the yellow in it. It would just have the black, the black and white logo on there somewhere. Or do you need to have that call to action with your website, for example, on there?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
So have you got any other designs? I can see you've got a few bits there? Is there anything else you wanted to show, or is there a particular design you're working on that you'd like a bit of help with?
Not at the moment. It is literally just a sort of trial and error, to be honest. I'm sort of set on because I like when couples have their first anniversary, I like to just send a post to them. So I'm happy with this one here. It just, and I tailor that different bit to colour to suit what their colour scheme was on the wedding. But again, I've noticed that there's not really any of my branding on there. So whether I need to put like say the logo or just the icon bit on here or something, just so people immediately type what it is.
So if you click on the colourful 90s themed party one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I meant the one which had a pink. Have you got? Are they all kind of named the same thing?
Yeah, that's another thing. I probably need to save them as individual. Oh, sorry, call it individual ones. 1 second. Sorry, this.
Okay. Okay, so it's just because you've got like the names. So like where it had happy anniversary and it had the pink one in the middle. To be fair, it doesn't really matter sort of with any of them. The one that you just had
This one, sorry, yeah.
So there's a feature that what you could
click on this.
Yeah. So you could use that tool, you know, the website address that I sort of showed you guys earlier with the sort of colour picker. So you could pick, you know, that picture of the flowers, you could upload that and sort of go, right, okay, well, what's the pink there, so that you know it's tonally the right pink.
Okay.
But also it does sometimes pick up what the colour of in the photo is. So if you were to click on that one, we can see if we can whether it will do that, because you've got a number of pictures there. So I don't know if it will be too confusing for it. So if you click on that, if you make a copy of this page, so if you click on where there's like a duplicate, like just above the page itself, the document, there's like a little kind of two documents. Where there's the plus sign, next to the plus sign, there's like
yeah.
So copy page. So this is something that I always do, is like when you're developing ideas, you can stick it in the same one. Now if you click on the pink box,
this one, yeah.
No, the pink box itself. Okay, so it's clicking on the pink. So go up to, it's because it's all grouped, don't worry about it. So click on where the pink block is at the top next to spacing. So it says here, it's showing you some photo colours that are picking up. Because you've got quite a lot of images there, it's not actually showing the flowers, it's showing you the car, the building, and like the couples thing. If you click on the see all, let's see if it brings up.
Oh wow.
So you could pick the dusky pink that's in the flowers.
It's clever, isn't it? Yeah.
So if you click on that, it should hopefully change that. So that's colour picked it. Now for the purpose of this, it might be that it's a little bit too kind of like buff. It's sort of a softer picture. So you could shift it slightly and use that as a starting point. So if you go back to clicking on the colour, so click on that kind of browny pink, click on it again. You can click again. Okay, so go to where it says new colour.
Yeah.
So you could now twiddle that around slightly to try and maybe get something that's a bit brighter.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So unfortunately, it's sort of where it's in the colour space, it's sort of a little bit on the dull side. So I guess you could brighten, because you're a photographer and you know what you're doing with sort of colour, you could saturize that image a little bit and then use the upload tool to sort of pick it out. And that might get something that's a bit closer to it. it's a little bit trial and error because it's quite a sort of small image. It's, you know, it's going to work better on some than others. So
Sure.
for example, if you go back to the other tab with all your designs, if you just go up to the top where you've got all the tabs of the web tabs.
The where, sorry?
So at the top where, because you've got a tab for it, the different designs, if you go to the web tab that says all your designs, you've got two at the top left. Not within Canva, on your web browser where you've got all you've got two tabs with all your designs. Click on one of them.
Okay. Ooh. There we are, yeah.
Okay, so if you go to the one, if you go scroll up a bit to where there was one where there was like some like blue knitted little character.
This one?
No, not that one. There was one, the first one that's there, the one with the blue block in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you click that one again. So if you were to do the same thing of clicking on the blue block in the center and doing the same principle, it might be quite nice to see, so if you go again to see all the little kind of knitted creature things. So you've got that aqua, the kind of teal colour.
Oh, this, yeah.
Yeah, so if you clicked on, I was thinking the other one, that one there. So if you click that, it's sort of picking up those colours there, or you could
ties it in better, doesn't it?
And it's just it's actually referencing it. So it didn't work so well on the floral one because, like, you know, it sort of was picking up on some of the colours. But that could be something that you could do, or you could pick it up from one of the other colours. So you've got the sort of image of, I guess, the invitation or something, and it's got the red there, or the kind of blue. So you could see what you feel worked best. But now you've suddenly got all these like
that's really good.
Like colours and palettes that are custom to the photos used. And you can tweak them a bit if you feel they're, although they may be actually, you know, colour picked from that image, you may want to shift it slightly brighter, or you know, depending on the colour, it may work a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Okay, if you want to unshare your screen, please.
How to do that?
You should be able to stop share. There should be a button somewhere. There we go. Oh.
Sorry. There we go.
Scroll back. Okay, so we're sort of coming towards the end of the session. So does anyone have any sort of questions that have sort of popped up, sort of arising from what we've seen? Paula, looks like you're unmuting yourself. There you go.
How often are these sessions? I know you said there's the Facebook group. How often are these sessions?
So these Q&A sort of sessions, they're on the 4th Wednesday of each month. So it will be the same Zoom link, so you can save that and make, you know, make a repeating note in your calendar if you want. But I will also put a reminder in the Facebook group and stuff like that. So yeah, that these will be remaining free for the rest of 2020. So you can, you know, do as Rob did and sort of share your screen if there's something, you know, you're sort of working on that you want some help, or you can supply your login details to me and I can log in and do what is known as a fast fix, which is something.
Okay.
So yeah. Anything else? If not, I shall wrap up.
No. That was lovely. That was really helpful. Thank you. We've got some ideas to have a play with. Just even looking what Rob was doing, Rob's bits with thing. It's good, really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Paul?
It's worth tuning in. You usually learn stuff every time you come onto these, Paula. You know, just little tricks like that thing that Emma Marie-Louise showed me, because I've been faffing about with sort of elements, thinking that was the way to do it, and it's right in front of me called frames. So it's silly little things like that. It's silly little things. You know, what was on the screen, I just, you know, you just get in your head, don't you? But yeah, it's saved me oodles of time, just little things like that you pick up.
Yeah.
So tune in again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
right, thank you.
As a sort of little plug, I do have a online membership. So I have once a month there's a sort of themed mini masterclass. So previous ones has been like how to create your own logo in Canva. There's been how to create your own flyer and Facebook cover image. So there's different ones. Next month, I think I've decided I was going to do YouTube or video thumbnails, which is great for YouTube, but I also use them for uploading to the videos that I've uploaded into Facebook. So it means that instead of a kind of picture of a still of you going something unfortunate, you can have like a sort of title page, as it were, for your video. So, and then we've got the other 2 sessions in the month. I do a fast fix, and I also sort of take a particular tool or feature of Canva and sort of try and break it down and show. So last week we looked at animation, so the kind of these animated stickers that you can add and how you can kind of lift your particularly your social media posts. It wouldn't really work on a printed item because that's not animated, but it was using those things. So that's £30 a month, or it's £60 for 3 months. So, you know, there's a lot of value in there. And when you're a member, so Paul's a member, you get added to a private Facebook group, which is for members only. And you get access to all the videos that I've ever done so far this year. So it means that you can access all some of the previous mini masterclasses. So yeah, lots of value there.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
I'm in most of them because I stalk Marie-Louise.
That's fine. I don't know how to move forward from that. we collaborate a lot, and we're both each other's cheerleaders. Well, stalking's are probably a bit of a strong word for it, but I appreciate your support. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap up because otherwise I'll just keep waffling on. So thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Thank you.
We'll
Thanks for help.
make regular use of the group and also come to future Q&As. Even if you can't make the Q&As, I do record them, so you can watch last month's and other goodness that's in the group. But also I have got a YouTube channel, so if you want to subscribe to that, that'd be helpful. It's just Lovely Evolution UK. So, you know, sometimes it's easier to see stuff when it's in YouTube, whereas other people like to see it in Facebook. It's up to you. There is some similar content there. There we go. All right, well, enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of the week. Any questions, feel free to just put a post in the group.
Right. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.